Hey everyone, it's Pikachu Review here. Today, we're heading to Europe, specifically Sweden, for a terrifying adventure. A group of 4 friends will face a terrifying monster deep within the woods. Who will escape and who will die? You'll find out in this video, so let's jump right in. The movie follows a close-knit group of 5 guys. Our main character is Luke, and he's brainstorming with the others about their upcoming group trip. Some want to go to Berlin, while others suggest Scandinavia. After endless debates, they still can't decide. Luke then suggests to his buddy, Rob, to go grab some drinks. However, as soon as they enter the liquor store, 2 robbers suddenly appear. Luke, scared, hides behind the shelves, while Rob gets his wallet stolen. They then try to take Rob's ring. Rob resists, and one of the robbers slices him across the face with a knife. The robbers quickly flee, leaving the poor guy dead in a pool of blood. 6 months later, the remaining 4 friends organize a camping trip to honor their deceased friend. Following Rob's wishes, they head to a mountain range in northern Sweden. It's incredibly desolate and uninhabited. Initially, they plan to cross the field and return to town, but an accident happens. The guy with the glasses slips and falls, injuring his knee, making it hard to walk. Luke and Phil discuss a plan to cut through the woods instead of taking the long way around to save time. Even though it's easy to get lost in the dark, the 4 decide to risk it. Little do they know what awaits them in the terrifying forest. After walking a few miles, the group is startled to find a deer carcass hanging from a tree. Its insides have been ripped out. Who knows what did this? Just a few miles in, and they find the corpse of a deer hanging in the trees. Its guts have been torn open. Who knows what did this? Whoever did this. But the group knew they shouldn't stick around. They pushed further into the woods. As night fell, a sudden rain started. The group, unsure what to do, stumbled upon a wooden cabin in the middle of the forest. The 4 of them went inside. It looked like it had been abandoned for a long time. Strange symbols were hanging everywhere, and upstairs, there was a headless statue, like they were worshipping some kind of god. Luke felt uneasy and wanted the group to turn back in the morning, retracing their steps. But few disagreed. He didn't want to waste time, and said he wasn't scared of any of that superstitious stuff. That night, Luke had a nightmare. He was back at the liquor store 6 months before the robbery. He still hadn't gotten over those horrible memories. Suddenly, a light appeared, startling him awake. He found himself standing outside the cabin in the woods. There were weird marks on his chest. Luke ran back to the cabin and saw his friends moaning and groaning. They all seemed to be having nightmares too. The black guy was even kneeling, praying to the headless statue. Luke quickly woke them up and they got ready to leave. As soon as they left the cabin, they saw strange symbols all over the trees. Everyone was terrified, but they kept moving deeper into the woods. Then the guy with glasses' leg gave out. He couldn't walk anymore. They had to take a break. Luke volunteered to scout around a bit. He hadn't gone far when he heard a strange noise. He looked up and saw someone's hand hiding behind a tree. Luke ran back, terrified, and told the group what he saw, but no one believed him. The guy with glasses even called Luke a scaredy cat, bringing up the liquor store. Luke got pissed and punched the guy in the face. Things were even more tense between them now. The group continued on. They found someone's belongings scattered on the ground, even a wallet with a picture of a family of 4. It looked like they'd also gone into the woods and ran into some serious trouble. Despite the bad signs, the group camped out right there in the woods. Later that night, Luke heard rustling outside. He peeked out and saw the scene from the liquor store. 6 months ago, Rob was turning his head, looking right at him. Luke, confused, suddenly woke up from the nightmare. He ran outside and saw Foo's tent was destroyed and he was gone. Before they could figure it out, they heard a terrifying scream mixed with Foo's yell. The 3 friends were terrified, but it was too dark to do anything. The next morning, they quickly packed up and continued on. They soon came across a horrifying sight. Few had been killed and hung from a tree, just like that deer they saw at the edge of the woods. The 3 of them took the body down and gave him a makeshift burial. They were completely freaked out, but now they couldn't go back. They just had to keep going through the woods. 2 days passed. Their food was running out, and they were so thirsty they had to drink from puddles on the ground. Everyone was at their limit. Just when all hope seemed lost, Luke found the path back to town. He ran back to tell his 2 friends But then, a huge creature burst out of the woods, grabbed the black guy, and dragged him away. Luke freaked out and hid until the monster was gone. Then he went back to the guy with glasses. They were both terrified, but the way home wasn't close. They hurried through the woods that night. They found a path lit by lanterns, like it was the entrance to a village. Nearby was the black guy's body, hanging from a tree. The monster's noise was getting closer, so the two friends ran into a nearby house to hide. They met a strange woman, but before they could ask anything, she knocked them out cold. The next morning, they woke up tied up. An old woman and two young guys came in. They saw the marks on Luke's chest, gave him water and soup. But the guy with glasses wasn't so lucky. The two young guys beat him and dragged him outside. They seemed to be preparing some kind of ritual. The guy with glasses was tied to a stake by the villagers. He finally saw his surroundings clearly. There were a lot of rotting corpses hanging from the trees. They must have been unlucky travelers who got lost. It quickly got dark. Something terrible was waiting for him. It seemed ready to appear. The villagers all heard the noise and kneeled. The guy with glasses heard rustling in the bushes, but it turned out to be his wife. She came close and touched his head, breaking the illusion. It wasn't his wife, it was the terrifying monster. It impaled him on a tree, killing him instantly. Luke watched from inside, horrified. Then a strange girl appeared. She said the villagers worshipped the monster for eternal life and health. It's a mythical creature from Northern Europe, the bastard child of Loki. Anyone with the mark on their chest is considered a servant of the monster. If you worship it, you can live in peace. Luke finally understood everything. He'd been chosen from the start to be the monster's servant. But Luke didn't want that sacrifice. Those friends of his were useless. He endured the pain of having his fingers broken, then, taking advantage of the villagers being outside, he untied himself. Luke searched the house and discovered an attic. Inside was a horrifying scene, the remains of rotting victims piled everywhere. This was the price of immortality. Enraged, Luke set the whole house on fire. When the villagers saw this, they were terrified. They were so scared. They knelt down, begging the gods for forgiveness. Luke then grabbed a gun and used it to shoot the young men. Outside, the monster then appeared. It killed all the villagers, gouging out their eyes. Luke seized the opportunity and ran outside. He didn't flee, but instead shot at the monster. However, this only enraged it further. The monster quickly chased Luke into the forest. He tried to escape, but the monster caught him. It didn't kill Luke, but instead wanted him to kneel and become its servant. Luke was in pain, but then he saw a vision. A flashback to the old tavern when he didn't have the courage to save his friend. But now things were different. Luke rushed forward, grabbed an axe, and buried it in the monster's head. Taking advantage of the opportunity, he escaped. After a tense chase, Luke finally found his way out of the forest. The monster could only stand at the edge of the woods, roaring. Luke, not giving in, shouted back at it, showing the strength of humanity. His relentless efforts to defy fate helped him survive to the end. This is the message the film wants to convey. What do you think? Leave a comment below. See you in other videos. Goodbye. See ya.